I'm going live on my Facebook. I wanted to see if I had that picture of John. All right, let me pause that. John. I'm going to hit record for Crystal. Crystal uploaded all those calls to the podcast, just so you guys know.
Yeah, I got a little behind, so I did like 20. I put like 20 episodes on. Got a little behind, but I'm all caught up now.
We are grateful. That's all we are, is grateful. Hold on one sec, guys. We'll officially get started. I put this call on my Facebook page. If anybody would like to share it with their influence, their sphere, please do. Go to my wall, share it beyond there. Someone's going to share it in the group. We really appreciate that. Trying to find a picture that I wanted to show you guys tonight. One sec. Oh, he's not in there. Hold on, Tony. Something my dad had sent me. Okay, here we go. However, he might have emailed it.
Oh.
It's a picture of John Anderson. And John, John was always doing these crazy, wild, fun, amazing things. John was the original founder and formulator of Isagenix. We're all so in love with John. John left us recently. And, we'll just forever be grateful for John and everything that that he's done for us and for so many. I probably won't find the picture. I'll post it up later. How's that? Because I don't want to delay the call, but welcome everybody. Welcome to the ER Shred Ugly's Christmas sweater party. Grateful to have you here. Notice that Jesse and I are twinning it up with the Shred guys, the Shred Santas. But on that note, I actually wanted to take a moment and just kind of reinforce, because some of the shares you'll hear tonight are about self-discovery. Our theme for 2022. By the way, this is my lovely co-host, Crystal Escobar.
Hi.
My beautiful, gorgeous. She likes to kiss the beard with the bells. She likes that. But 2022 was about discovering you. It was about self-discovery, because what a lot of people, what they embark upon this journey with ER Shred is it's the most interesting, it's the most fascinating journey of self-discovery. And you'll hear it from so many people that adopt, this lifestyle. You'll hear them talk about self-discovery. You'll hear them talk about self-awareness. And it's this thing that's born. I almost feel like it's made available to us, not just, I'm sure ER Shred's not the only way that people get there. I'm sure. But I'm also pretty certain that what ER Shred does is it removes all the noise, all the interference, and gets us down to a very simplistic lifestyle to where we can learn to interpret and learn to listen and learn to hear. And when you get to that space, it's actually pretty damn, life becomes a lot more fun. It becomes a lot more interesting, and life actually is enhanced. You feel as though you've been upgraded, and you carry that forward. So with that in mind, I'm liking the ugly sweater there, Sarah, with the big cat.
Awesome.
That's Crystal's right there, the big cat.
That's cool.
But what I wanted to share tonight was just that for me, this year has been very interesting in terms of self-discovery. The move, we moved from our house of 16 years, and that move was unbelievably emotional. I couldn't ever imagine how painful and how heartbreaking it could be to just sell, a home and where you've raised your children, where Crystal had the children. And for me, it was very eye-opening and very emotional. And then the other thing that happened was John's death. And when John died, that was an incredibly emotional thing for me. And, you know, I've had to come to grips with that, as have my mom and dad. They've had to come to grips with that, as have many others. But John, you always had this feeling that, you know, well, at least we have John. At least John's there, you know, almost like assurance. And yes, John's still there. I mean, we all, you know, I think we're all faith-filled people. You know, this probably isn't just the end, but at the same time, he's not here on this earth now with us. And I don't know, emotionally, that really jolted me. And, but I know ultimately it's going to lead to even more growth. And I know that that's what John would require. When I used to sell hats and t-shirts and all manner of things to Isagenix distributors, John, he actually was allowing me to do that. And I was making quite a bit of money, you know, selling all kinds of stuff to Isagenix distributors early on, because Isagenix hadn't gone down that road. They weren't doing that. But I wasn't really enjoying it. I didn't like having to go to the, you know, the UPS store all the time, the post office all the time. And I was going to probably 4 or 5 meetings a week. You know, that's not my jam, to be like that many public things all the time. And I remember John, you know, they told me they had to take that away from me, and that they were going to bring that in-house, and that they were going to sell all their own things. And of course, you know, I had to be okay with that. But I remember John, he grabbed hold of me and he says, listen, he says, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to build a team. He says, I really think you should go for that. I believe in you. I think you can do it. And I think your energy would be far better spent there than doing what you've been doing. And he kind of like instilled in me this vote of confidence, right? That you can do that. I believe you can do that. And it's so fascinating. I was on a hike with Lily today, and I was talking to her about belief, and how most of the time, the majority of the time, people who become anything, you know, significant in terms of, you know, they've fulfilled their potential. It's not about becoming famous. It's not about, you know, doing anything earth-shattering. It's that you show up, and that you do your best, and that you try, and that you know, that you perform to the best of your ability. And the people that can do that and feel proud about that, usually they had people that believed in them. And that's what John did for me. John truly believed in me, and I'm forever grateful. And I wanted to share that with you guys tonight, that, you know, I need to believe in myself. I need to continue to believe in myself, as do all of us. And we need to believe in each other, because we need to play that role for each other, as John did for me. Anyway, I'm going to let Crystal share what she's got to share, and then we'll start kicking it around a little bit with our friends on here tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it on gallery if you guys don't mind, just because it's fun to see your faces tonight.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I haven't been on the Wednesday night call for a while, so this is fun. I'm sometimes checking in, watching as I'm making dinner, running the kids around, but it's been so fun to see so many of you transform this past year. And like Sean said, I feel like, you know, when we talk about 2022 and discovering you, and how this year for us was really about shedding a lot of layers. And I feel like as you are shedding those layers, you know, we selling the home might not really seem like much to some people, but it was like shedding a layer for us, like the older version of us, saying goodbye to that season, stepping into the new season, new version of us, like uncovering more of who we are. So I have loved that theme that we had this past year, and excited about the new theme. It's up to me in 2023. And I am so excited to continue doing these monthly mindset calls. It's been something that I've really enjoyed preparing for, and just being creating that space for the the awareness that we all talk about, that we have noticed with by changing our diet so much. Now it's about, we're so aware of now what we eat, how our bodies are communicating to us. And now I feel like it enhances all the other areas of our life where we talk about awareness. So the next mindset call I'm going to be doing is going to be perfect for the new year. We're going to be talking about all of our New Year's resolutions. I'm hoping that some of you would volunteer to share what you're hoping for in 2023. And I know the power of visualization and manifestation, and when you can actually voice it and get to voice it publicly, like that is an opportunity that I hope you guys will take, because when you can put that out there. And okay, Jesse, are you going to be my volunteer? Okay, I would love it, because I just think it'd be a fun opportunity to have so many of our community members come on and talk about what they're hoping to accomplish and who they want to be for 2023. And it's up to us to make it all happen. So it's going to be, it's always the first Thursday of every month. So that will be January 5th. Same time that we do these weeknight calls, Jesse's call and the Wednesday night call, and then my Thursday night call. It's always at the same time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So I hope you all will join me. And I've also created a workbook that I posted in the group. If you are on the email list, then you should have received it in your inbox today. And that can be just something that you can use to help you uncover those desires, that vision that you have for yourself, and get really clear on what you're hoping to step into in 2023. So thank you guys so much. I have enjoyed having you guys on the Thursday night call, the mindset call with me, and for all your participation. And I love all of the testimonials that we get to hear, how much this protocol has been changing lives. And it's just really exciting to be a part of it.
All right, babe. So Crystal is going to be here in the background. She said she's probably going to slip
I'm
behind.
going to go wrap some presents right there, but I'm going to be listening.
All right. Okay, thank you,
I'll
babe.
go. Does that mean go?
No, unless, yeah,
Okay.
you're good. You're good. Okay. We have first up, well, as of right now, we have Mimi. Would you want to hop on here, Mimi?
Hi there, everybody.
What's up, Mimi? Mimi, I thought of you. What are you wearing there? What you got on there?
I've got on my Santa on a surfboard.
Oh, that's
You
cool.
know, coming with a bag of toys past the island.
Love that. I'm loving
Yeah,
that.
Mika said, hey, that looks like our Christmas shirts from down under, because they got summertime.
That is cool. I want to show everybody, Mimi, hold on. I'm going to black this out. I just want to show people online how this
that is so
lights
cool.
actually work. Isn't that great? Okay, Mimi. So this is interesting because we're talking about self-discovery, discover you in 2022. We're kind of revisiting our wins. And, I was thinking about you and I was thinking about many other people. By the way, big shout out to Joni Fernandez. Big shout out. We love you so much, Joni. Joni lost her mother. They were very close. And so, well, there you go. There's a mother-daughter right there, Jessica, right there with Jennifer. And that's, you guys can understand why it's so meaningful that Joni lost her mother. We love you, Joni. Okay, Mimi.
Yes.
Discover you in 2022. Could it be that we learn the most from the biggest challenge? The most challenging years is the ones that really forge us and shape us, right?
Yes, absolutely. And for me, I had been living under house rules for 4 years, because when I came back to Florida, I was living in a sober home atmosphere. So there were rules and scheduling and, like everybody basically comes in and abides by the rules that are established. So 2022 found me not only recovering from the virus when in the very beginning, I was exposed on Christmas Day 2 years ago. And it took me a few months, but I left sober home living in early February. So I've had to navigate quite a few different things in my life, and I really, at the end of 2022, I think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad it's almost over. What am I going to do next? But I'm starting to see certain things level out. I came down to Delray Beach from West Palm to be a caregiver for my mom and dad. That's been difficult. It's been difficult because it's emotionally challenging and it's all connected to their medical well-being and health. But through sticking with it and doing a lot of screaming on the side to certain people, and then trying to stick with my program of AA and getting support through a network of friends in ER Shred, I really feel like things are leveling out. In fact, I decided late yesterday, I said, you know what? I'm going to give myself a gift before Christmas. I'm going to do a full-on 60-hour cleanse. I'm going to drop a few things while I'm cleansing. And my daughter came in. I hadn't seen her in 4 years, and that relationship is mending. So there's a lot that's happened just since 2 days ago where I see a shift. And just to let you know, my mom got her second PET scan, and she has been told now by the oncologist that she is cancer free. We're not supposed to say the word cured until 5-year mark, but she is now cancer free. The problem is no longer identified. And I said, and I reached out to Susan, and she said, wow, sounds like remission. Happy dance. And I'm like, okay, but I got to hear it from him. So that's what we got the news yesterday. And cleansing has really been a challenge for me since I got the virus the first time, and I had it the second time when I first came down here. I slept out here in the heat, so I didn't expose my parents. But it was a 5-day recovery this time instead of a 5-month recovery. Still needed some help with my energy, but I just kept on keeping on. You just got to move through it.
For sure.
So I will tell you this, I've done really well with my energy today, and stressful situations, which are all around me, from the time my eyes open till the time I close my eyes. I'm not feeling the stress today. And I don't know if it's a combination of making the decision to cleanse and to shred while I'm cleansing, because with me, shredding means letting go of and releasing.
Please, yeah, speak to that.
Listen,
speak to that more.
I have released so many things about myself that I know weren't serving me. But the struggle right now is for me to start filling myself back up, because I have completely depleted. All of my emotional energy seems to be gone. It's all directed and toward other people. And I literally thought I was going to just fall out. I came close to losing my sobriety. Just my thinking got so bad. I started seeing labels on bottles. I haven't seen labels on bottles since I was drinking. And I'm like, hey, you know what? First, it was like I knew where I was passing through the alcohol section at work. And then I started seeing labels, and I went straight to my group over there. And I'm like, you guys, I'm seeing labels.
How long have you been sober?
5 years, 5.5. I'll be 6 years. And I'm working on my 6th year, but in May 13th.
Congratulations.
I stopped drinking on Mother's Day 5 years ago.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You have certainly shredded a lot of things, and that's what I wanted to speak to about the shredded Santa here.
Yeah.
Is just reminding people that shred to us, actually, we have some fun with it. We goof off about it. Jesse and I are always riffing about it. Like, let's get build, let's get, buff. But in reality, that's not that's just things we find fun. Shred to us, as shred does to you, also means you know, it's about shredding what's not serving us. It's about shredding limiting beliefs, shredding bad habits, shredding past trauma, you know, moving beyond things. So I just love that you pointed that out. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's like shucking an ear of corn. Let's not talk about an onion, but when you start peeling away the outside of a corn, there are so many layers. And then when you get down to the actual corn itself, there are all the little intricate hairs, you know, that grow between. And sometimes you have to work at picking those little strings of, you know, the corn silk out from between the
right.
kernels. This is never done, I don't think.
That's right.
I'm happy to just be here.
Thank you. You
Anyway, I
said
wrote a cleanse song, and
you
I
wrote a
did that when
cleanse
I was at
song.
work. Yeah, I was because I remember thinking 60 hours, you got to be crazy because I could never get to 24. So this is to the Beatles and it's a cappella. All right, here we go. What would you do 60 hours without food? Would you stand up and run to the door? I used to shred. I used to cleanse. It was so hard back then. I could barely make it to 24. Now I cleanse with a little help from my friends. I rely on a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. Autophagy is how you can be free of the damaged and folded old cells. But when you seek for your hormones to peak, that is when you begin to feel well. Now I cleanse with a little help from my friends. I rely on a little help from my friends. I get by with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Reach out, we'll show you some love. This will free your whole body. Less toxins when you are done. I get by with a little help from my friends. I rely with a little help from my friends. Okay, that's it. That's the whole thing. Thanks.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much.
We
Well,
love you,
so
Mimi.
I am coming to Dallas.
Oh
And
my gosh. Well, I'll get to meet you
I
in
am.
person.
Yes,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
really
That's pretty
excited
exciting.
about it.
That's
So
pretty
looking forward
exciting.
to
I'm
seeing
excited
and
about
meeting
that as well.
everybody that I can. Yeah. Thank you
Yep.
for letting me
I
share.
have a feeling you'll be a hit. The Heart of ER Shred, Mimi Terrell, thank you so much. Can't wait to meet you in Dallas. That's going to be
You're
that's
welcome.
going to be
Thank you.
something special.
Bye.
I might squeeze her so hard. I might squeeze her so
Oh,
hard.
Yeah, Mimi, that was so awesome.
She's something special. All right. Who's up? I haven't been checking the chat. Who would like to share something next? Feel free to unmute yourself and chime in.
I will, since I'm pretending to work on the rest of the time, so that's why I've been off camera.
Oh, okay. Hi,
yes.
Sarah. How are you?
It's sort of me and little girl.
It's great.
It
It actually looks like Mimi's cat, like a lot like Mimi's cat.
Simba looked like my little man and my little girl. That was one of the things I think Mimi and I bonded on. From the start. Oh, wait, hold on. She's such a diva.
Oh,
There's little girl.
Oh, cute.
So she says,
Oh,
Merry Christmas, Sean.
what a beautiful cat. I want an orange cat. We got too many cats already, though.
They're special. They're talkers. She's a talker. She knows meetings, like she knows Zoom.
Yeah.
She's a diva, so she likes to get on the camera. But
So fun.
I shared a little when I posted about the meeting. I just started shredding in 2022. So all of this has been amazing. And when I started, I didn't even have any idea, like my goals, my brain couldn't even project out to where I've ended up. As I'm preparing to go to NICO and preparing, to walk on stage and all that good stuff and represent. I just, yeah. I mean, it didn't even come. I just wanted to feel better. That was it. I wasn't getting anywhere. I wanted to feel better. I had been struggling. I wanted me back. I couldn't even, I mean, I didn't even walk. I think it was the second week of the shred. It was the beginning of February when I started doing at least a mile a day. And I completed, yesterday was day 290 of doing at least a mile a day.
Wow, amazing.
And now I'm doing weights with it too. I'm doing a lot of abdominal exercises. I'm doing a little bit of HIIT, blending HIIT, doing a little bit of intervals with it. Sort of snowbound right now. Our high tomorrow is going to be -6. That isn't even the wind chill.
My goodness.
So I won't be going outside.
That's cold.
But you know, it's also taught me to eat and enjoy. You know, like Christmas Day, I'm joining 15 friends at a Chinese buffet. You know, and I know I can make good choices there, but still enjoy. You know, last night I tried, I think it was Lisa who she had done the Hearts of Palm angel hair pasta. And I had a craving for spaghetti with the cold weather, spaghetti and meatballs. And I was able to make that as the pasta, Rouse sauce and meatballs and some grass-fed Parmesan. And oh my God, that was comfort food. And it was totally within my things. And it doesn't look like that's a culprit for me. So that's a good thing too.
Very
So
cool.
there's creating alternatives. I'm learning about my lifestyle. Tonight, I have a ribeye planned with mushrooms. And I'll probably have some artichoke hearts. I really like that instead of a salad, but it feels salady to me and it sits well with me. So I do that as an alternative to salads.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just but the community and the love. And also the growth in how I approach my business, the leadership there. I mean, who knew that a group of steak and, you know, butter loving meat eaters would have such amazing training sessions with Lenny Evans. We
Right.
had that this year. I grew, I learned how to express myself, and I find myself, my posture, especially since summer, my posture in my posts, my posture in every way is such a different person than I have ever been in the 3+ years I've been with Isagenix. You know, it's not ego, but it's posturing in a helpful way. And it's also just my belief in what I'm doing. So I have all of you to thank for that. So that is my little share. And I don't have a cute song like Mimi, but I did love her song.
I can't compete with her songs either, but you certainly have made dramatic and lasting change, and you've certainly inspired many, many others. Amazing, amazing share. Thank you so much for you know, giving so much thought to that, because I noticed that you really did think long and hard about what parts about this year you know, had the most impact on you. It was nice to hear you mention Lenny. I also thoroughly enjoyed his training. And, you know, and I love it whenever he can be involved. I thoroughly enjoy him. So it was.
I also want to shout out Jesse because I see him on my screen and he looks like he has jammies on and they're really cute, Jesse. But I got to know him, not only getting to do a call with him, but, you know, help through the year. And he has been such a guide and such a cheerleader for me and got me on track with my protein. So I really want to, I think his role is just amazing in this group. And I'm also going to shout out Susan because it was something off plan. She reached out to me when I wasn't feeling good and suggested something. It has nothing to do with Isagenix, but that little herbal sort of trick that I started taking just within a week, I felt human. And she, I mean, I didn't reach out to her. She messaged me and said, hey, can I ask you some questions? And having these people who go above and beyond and care and reach out, that's huge. So I want to celebrate that too. So I just had to throw in and name drop those two as well.
Love that. I love that. I think we're going to hear from one of them here briefly. Both of them. Anyone else like to share before we hear from Susan or Jesse?
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
Hello, Jessica and Jennifer.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I feel like I've been absent, but we are doing great. Been jumped into the college world, which is nuts because it's snow season here in Vermont, and I'll tell you, wow, what the hell was I thinking? Take on 5 college courses plus full-time work plus be a mom and farm, but made it through the first semester with a GPA of 3.9 because
Wow, that is really incredible. I know how hard college is. That's very rare to pull that off. Good job.
So, thankfully I've got the support of Jennifer and my husband and my son and, moving forward doing that. But, I was reading up on the post and I feel like I said, I've been absent. I've been here, I've been reading them. I've been listening as we're, I'm plowing snow and, salting the roads. I, put on the calls because I can't be here all the time. But it's like I said, it's been nuts. It's been a whirlwind. But when I was reading up, it's okay. Funny story. I know I posted and commented on this, but the woman that knocked on my door asking me if I needed money for groceries as I was eating a stick of butter in the parking lot of the grocery store is by far the funniest thing that just happened to me.
God.
All right, hold on. What exactly happened? You were in the parking lot of a store, and what were you doing?
I went into the grocery store to pick up a few things and I was like, okay, I am hangry. I was flat out hangry. So I grabbed a thing of Kerrygold butter and I'm sitting in the parking lot and I opened up a stick of butter as I'm sitting in behind the driver's seat, behind the steering wheel of my Jeep. And I took a couple bites of butter and this woman comes over and knocks on my window. I roll the window down and I'm like, can I help you? And she's like, do you need money for groceries, ma'am? And I'm like, what? She's like, you're eating butter. And I'm like, I am aware I'm eating butter. She's like, that's not okay. And I'm like, no, it is okay.
That's funny.
She's like,
That's one of the funniest things ever.
I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, going, butter's not cheap. It's not, if I was chewing on some raw ramen or something like that, okay, maybe, but butter's not cheap.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh my God, I love it. That's classic. That is a classic story right
the other
there.
end of the stick up and asked her if she wanted a bite.
Somebody posted something yesterday, I think it was, and it's this older doctor, and he's like, it's not an apple a day that keeps the doctor away. It's actually a stick of butter a day that'll keep the doctor away. And then he goes on to tell why.
I will
enjoyed
say
that.
peeling open a stick of butter and walking down the street or sitting in your vehicle will get people to turn their heads.
It's hilarious. That is so funny. I probably 2 to 3 times a day, I go to the fridge, I pull out a big stick of Kerrygold butter. Well, depends on how far eaten it is, and I will take a big bite out of it. And I love it out of the fridge because to me, it just tastes like,
Oh, it's so much
butter.
better out of the fridge.
yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
like butter ice cream. Like it just melts and oh man, I chew on it. It's fantastic. But
The guys
Usually-
at work would think I'm crazy because I dump it in my coffee and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you know what? Don't knock it till you try it. If you don't want to try it, shut up.
I'll usually, if my kids have friends over, usually I'll hear from them behind me. I'm at the fridge, and then
Yep.
someone will say, "Did you just eat that butter?" Then I have to explain to them why I do it,
Right.
and but yeah, it's usually it gets a rise out of, yeah, you want some?
You hold up a stick and offer somebody a bite, they look at you like, You've lost your mind.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you so much for this share. It's so good to see you guys. Please, you guys are hearts of ER Shred. You know, Mimi Terrell, the heart of ER Shred. Please, nobody ever feel like there's any obligation to show up. I mean, we'll take as much as we can get of you, but you know, in the event that life takes over and you're doing things like Jessica's doing with college and whatnot, then we certainly understand
Mhm.
that you are
Yeah,
preoccupied and you're doing the best you can.
I told everybody on my team, I'm still here. You know, I'll post from time to time. I'm still here. You know, yes, I'm behind the scenes, but I'm trying to better myself. I want to, you know, and I'm doing things that I never thought I'd do. You know, I'm applying for management positions. I'm interviewing for jobs, doing crazy shit that I'm like, I'm never going to be good enough for this. But yet, through this, I've been able to figure out. I've been able to find my self-worth. That I can do this. I am worthy of this, and I can accomplish more than I ever gave myself credit for.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's awesome.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. That's awesome. You shot any bottles of whiskey lately?
Well, I might have bought some new firearms. Might have blown up a few.
For those of you that don't know, when Jessica got involved in Isogenics, she took her whiskey bottles and put them on a fence post and shot them with a shotgun.
I remember that day too. Yeah, like I said, best day ever. You know, but the problem with, you know, shooting more whiskey bottles is you have to buy it. And then it's like, do I buy it just to shoot it? Or do you ask your friends, hey, can I have your empty bottles? But it doesn't have the impact if it's not full.
Yeah.
You're such a shredder. I love it. All right. Thank you so much. Who else
Thank
we
you,
got
guys.
out there that is
Merry
ready to go?
Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. That's fun. I love their relationship and how close I love how close you guys are. It's pretty special. It's pretty rare. I hope you appreciate that because, you know, my teenagers, no, they're not digging on my affection, are they?
No.
The younger two still are, which I'm just cherishing every moment of that. But
Mhm.
I'm hoping I have a teen in there. I think I have one, my youngest son. I'm pretty sure he's going to be cool with me getting a hold of him when he's in those later teens and giving him not, you know, because he's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
I wish that for you
They
too,
hit you
Jesse.
for a
with
short
Grace.
time, and then they come back around and realize that mom and dad aren't so bad.
Yeah.
the nice
thing about
growing up. Yeah, they'll go through a phase where I think they're you know, morphed off by aliens or something, and then they do come back and they're like, oh, you were right.
Yeah, I think
They do love you.
I think Lily's getting there. Today we were hiking and her low back was sore. I said, come here. And I was massaging her low back. And, you know, in years past, she would have been like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
coming around.
Yeah.
Oh, they
All right,
do.
who else we got out there? Is it Susan?
Yeah.
I hope- Hi, Susan Rothman. How are you?
Did you want me or Susanna?
I don't know. Did Susanna want to share? If she does, she's more than welcome. But I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
Okay.
Susanna, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and don't feel bad by doing that. Oh, it's up. It's up. Hold on there, Susan Rothman. All right, Suzanne, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Well, that's interesting. I am. There you
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm over in Colorado, so we're neighbors to you in Utah there.
Very good.
Anyway, we've been listening and doing the wonderful things that you share, but not totally committed. But my husband is really getting on the bandwagon and he's pretty much off of sugar now. And he went to the chiropractor today and the chiropractor was so impressed. He
Yes.
said, you are like 75% better than the first time I saw you because of changing your diet. And then we exercise, we jump on the Vitalizer indoors, and then we run outside and take the dog for a walk at 19 degrees. And we're both in our late 70s, enjoying
Wow.
life, loving life, using Isogenics for almost 15 years plus.
Isn't that great?
And we're still hooked. I'm still hooked on this sugar business, but he's getting off of it. And it's very exciting to see how clear-headed he's becoming. It's just,
Clear-headed, right.
yeah.
Yes, clear-headed. You get off all the sugar, you fuel with fat predominantly, and it just feels as though the brain works better. And you have more clarity. What other things have you noticed in terms of, well, the doctor said, wow, I'm so impressed. You're just thriving. What other things have you noticed with hubby?
Let's see, he was working in a plant where it was coal dust constantly for like 30 years. So he's improving from that, able to breathe a little bit better. And like when we're hiking uphill, he doesn't have to stop quite as often, which is a blessing. And, the heavy breathing that was like, I've got to stop and grab my heart. But yeah.
How long has he been kind of going this route?
Let's see, off the sugar for probably a week or so now, and we did do the ER shred, and he lost like 10 pounds and I took off 7, and we both could stand to lose another. I could stand to lose another 10 for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I'm going to tell you something that might freak you out real quick. You said the sugar bug still has a little bit of a hold on you, right?
yes.
And I
So
gotta
angry.
tell you, like in my experience coaching people with this, I find that women are especially scared of eating more. And I'm convinced that if you eat more, even more of the right things, that you'll find that switch just turns off. And but you've got to fill up on the right things. I remember it freaked Crystal out because she's like, I can't eat this much. And I'm like, no, keep putting it in, keep putting it in, put it in. And she's like, I don't think it's good for me to eat this much. And in the end, you find that
Yeah.
it actually does have that effect, right?
Yeah.
You're empowered because of the
Yeah.
food.
And yeah, just always being so afraid that I would gain weight, but I have eaten more the last 2.5 years and I don't think I can gain weight. It's just not.
Yeah, I was
It's
going to
just
say, you had
crazy.
no weight to lose.
Well, I have in the past. And so I would used to count calories and I would
Oh,
be
yeah.
obsessed over calories and portion control. But yeah, it's crazy that I could eat this much with all the fat that I believed at one time was so bad for me.
I love it.
Susanna, it's so good to hear from you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And what about you for 2023? You guys, it sounds like you guys are you're on the tracks. It sounds like you guys are going to keep kicking butt.
We're on the track. Yes, we're going to just stay with it and be more into the ER shred more purely, for sure.
Love that. Love that. It's so inspirational.
Yeah.
And teaching others. Yeah, it's such a joy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Susan Rothman. I know that will that'll get you even more excited to hear from Susanna and that share.
Yeah, I love that and everything that everyone had to say, but it's so true for women about eating more and especially the fat. And I've shared this with you all many, many times, in the office I'm in, when I try to tell a lot of these, perimenopause, postmenopausal women, they need to eat more, they need to eat more fat. And the pushback I get, it's almost like you can feel it over the phone. So it's busting myths. And so many good things were said tonight. I've been kind of quiet in the group. I had an elective surgery and then I was recovering, so I was quiet. Then I got the virus. And so I've kind of been like just quiet, but now, everything's good. I'm back. And so this is my first call back. And what a perfect call it is. I talk a lot in this community about reverence, and I believe that that's something we've lost in our culture. Reverence for the meaning of things, traditions, where our food comes from, valuing the world we live in and who's around us. And of course, in my life, I look for people that have those same values as me. So now here we are in this community, and Sean always says we bring, we attract our like kind. And I think without even speaking it, most of the people in this community are intentional people, they're heart people, they're wanting to feel better and do better. And I know, you know, the self-discovery piece, and of course it always intrigues me because my training is more in the physical body. And of course, when I work with people, it's intimate, you know, and I notice things about when their health changes, the timbre of their voice, how they're speaking, the color of their skin. And in our community, even online, you can see those just subtle changes starting to happen. And then we tell you all to listen to your body, to be intentional, to eat intuitively. And for some reason, you know, a lot of us believe in visualization, intention, manifestation. And so here we are focusing on what we're putting in our mouths and listening to our body of what's good for us and what isn't. And here it springboards into all these different areas of our lives and this self-discovery piece. So, you know, as I interact with this community, is it physical? Is it spiritual? Is it, you know, emotional? I don't know, but such changes in people, such changes in people. And I know for those of us that have been here for a while, we can so see that, you know, Mel's different, I'm different. Like for me, like tonight, I made a conscious decision to share with you all about the surgery and that why I've been quiet. I wouldn't have done that prior. I'm a very quiet and private person. So, you know, and I know Jesse too must think, it's like, we've always had this idea of what it would be like if people got on the right track, it served them, and their health came up, their vibration came up on all levels, and how that would springboard into every area of their life. And I know for me, for a lot of years, I practiced in the hope of that. But today I get to see that actualized, sustained. You know, Jessica and Jennifer have been with us for 2 years, you know, Kathy Martinez, Melanie, you know, we've watched them literally change their lives for the better and bring that into the world. So it's just all good stuff, you know, and I too, I love what you said about shredding, because to me, it's, you know, what are we shredding? And even that, you know, is like being intentional about, you know, and paying attention that, no, I'm not just intermittent fasting. There's more to it than that. Let me be grounded. Let me plug in. Some of us do it and some of us don't. But I think a lot of us, even if we didn't think about it, we sort of trip into it on this journey. And then, of course, the community is, you know, fuels that. So it's just a beautiful thing. You know, very excited for 2023, you know, and I love the growth and everything that's happened in the community. And yeah, I just love you guys.
Oh, we love you too.
It's good to have you back, Susan.
You know what's neat, Susan, is just to see people like yourself, people like Jesse, you know, health professionals who really, really are in that space because they're doing what they love and because of what it does to their vibrational energy. I've noticed over the years, I've noticed that as people share, you know, I can see everybody. And as people share, I see, I can almost feel your batteries charging, charging, and then you're full. And that's why I love for you to go, you know, near the last, and Jesse to go near the last, because once those batteries are full, you know, there's nothing cooler than seeing people that are in their element and kicking ass and making a difference and finding joy and fulfillment. And for me, that in and of itself, to witness that is incredibly gratifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jesse, you wanna have a share tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, boy.
I'm proud of you, Susan. I'm proud of you.
Hey, Jesse, real quick, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you too. I wanted to say this tonight and didn't get the chance. You have continued to show up for this tribe and this community. Crystal and I had a conversation the other night where I said, he's really never he's never been off the mat for long. Even with all that he's had going on, even while having a baby, even while raising a newborn baby, even while being self-employed. And, it's important for us to show gratitude. I really am grateful. Crystal is really grateful. And, you've brought it hot and heavy, even over the last quarter, which, this community needed you. We needed you to step up and show up, and you've really brought that. So wanted to express gratitude to you. I want to express gratitude to Susan Rothman, our gratitude to Heather, who couldn't make it tonight, for all that she does, even with her hectic schedule and everything. But thank you for all that you guys do. And I would be amiss if I didn't mention that.
And I just want to add to that a little bit that I'm so impressed with you, like Sean said, how much you've been able to show up, just the way that you put a lot into every post that you do, the people that you interview. Like I'm doing all the podcasts, and I'm looking at your description and adding the description over to the podcast. And the fact that you take so much time to introduce the people, I'm just like, I'm just impressed with how much you put your all into what you do for the community.
Thank you. Thank you. Hold on. Discovered you in 2022. I realized that my emotional self is something that I've grown to love, and I've never had that in my entire life. And you talked about John pumping that into you, and I've shared this before, but you are that person for me, Sean, because in times where, I know we all say we've done stupid things growing up, and we have things that we regret that we've done. Hold on. Yeah, you did that for me. Like you breathed life into me, and I can't wait to give you the biggest, hardest, giant man hug when we see each other at NYKO, because it's been so long. And I'm so grateful for you, and for you, Crystal, for you guys showing up first, and for believing in me and trusting in me to call me and share this crazy, so-called crazy, wacko concepts, and for giving me the chance to just show up and be really me, like not the fake Jesse that I was for what I feel like my entire life, but to actually show up and to be accepted for me. Like, growing up this little fat kid and getting made fun of, and, having family issues of my own, and relationship issues, and, dealing with an ex-wife, and having different mindsets and visions and things that we want for our shared daughter, and then obviously the baby this year, and the struggle with that, and running full-time business, Crystal doing her thing. Like, discovering me in 2022 has been releasing this mask that I thought I needed to wear for people to accept me for who I was, because I've never been, I never felt like I was fully accepted for just me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, for me, it makes perfect sense. So I'm sure.
For me, you're
Um,
speaking my truth. So
Yeah, I mean, it's, and it felt like, I thought it was all the right things. And what I've realized was it was never for me, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's greedy to do for you. And I hope we've shared that with people, where we're getting people to put themselves first and to realize just how much better life really is when you can just show up for yourself and fill that cup. And then when you're just a good-hearted person from the soul, you're going to be able to give to so many more people. And it's this year, I told Crystal in a post a few days ago, but for years I told myself, I promised myself I would journal. I know it's important. I know it's impactful. There's so much research around it. I've studied self-development, but never like I have this year. Never like I have this year, where like literally every morning at 4:15, my day starts with a positive message. The next thing I do is go into my journal. Literally, by 4:30 in the morning, I'm journaling. I'm waking up in the morning and literally my alarm goes off and I lay there for 5 minutes. And no joke, I'm not even making this. This is not an exaggeration at all. The second my alarm goes off and I hit the button, I don't go back to sleep. I lay there, my little dude's laying next to me, my dog's crushing my feet, and I'm like, man, I am so fucking grateful. I am so grateful for this beautiful, epic thing that we call life. I'm grateful for my sheets. And then I wake up and I go in the bathroom and I brush my teeth and I literally high five myself in the mirror now every single morning. I couldn't even look at myself in the face because I wasn't truly happy with the person that I was. Try to look yourself in the face. I bet most people can't do it. And that makes me sad. That makes me sad. Because when you can internally love yourself like that and be your best cheerleader and be your best friend, so many epic things in life are going to change. And it doesn't mean all the hardship goes away. It doesn't mean life's not hard. It doesn't mean that challenges don't present themselves. But when you got your back and then you can give to others and then have that big group and that support, which is what we all have, it is amazing. So I literally high five myself in the mirror. And then I high five my heart. And I tell myself straight up, looking at myself dead in the face, I go, you got this. Like, you freaking got this. And I have big, fat, audacious goals where most people just roll their eyes at me. And I don't care anymore. I literally don't give a shit about the opinion of other people anymore. That's not in a way that I don't care about people. It's so free. It is so free to be that. So discovering me, like the raw, authentic me, and so much of this group, so many of you that I've shared, so many of you that have shown up have just filled that tank for me. You say the battery charges, like it is so full every day because of what we're doing, because impacting lives, like I've always been drawn to this for some reason. And I think it was because I wanted it for myself. And now that I can have that, all I want to do is just give it to other people. I want to just pour it into so many other people, because I really do believe in my soul that everybody deserves this. Like, everybody deserves that freedom. Everybody deserves their health. Everybody deserves that. And just being able to find that this year and discovering that about me has been the most epic thing in my 43 years of life that I've ever experienced. And I'm so motivated about what the rest of life has to bring. I'm so motivated. And I love our theme for next year, right? It's up to me in 2023. You're damn straight, it's up to you. It is not up to anybody else. It is so up to you in 2023. So it's just been such an awesome year. connecting with people. Susan and I have built this epic relationship. Mine and your friendship has gotten closer. I've learned to hold that inner space so much closer and protect it, where I used to just be this yes person and give it away and give it away and give it away. And all this year it's been working. And like, I can go into the end of this year, feeling so good about what's to come. And for me, the year's not over yet. If you're like, oh, 2023, like, no, hell no. Like, there is another, what's today? Today's the 21st. There is 10 more days left in this year. I will not sacrifice those 10 days because I believe so much in myself now and the ability of what can happen with such a short period of time. Look what's happened in 11 days for so many people's lives. That's one day less than what we have in this year. It's not over yet. It's not over yet, So I'm just so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I just feel so blessed. I don't use that word a lot. But I just really do feel that way. And it just, you know what I mean? It overtakes me some days. And, I know it seems like I kind of have my shit together, but it's a hot mess on the outside too. People should know that. Like, I struggle. I have bad relationships with family too. And, not every day is peachy hunky dory with me and Crystal. We're both alpha type people. And, she's running 2 companies and I'm running 3 companies. And, we got the little guy and we got the dogs and we got the cat. It's like, holy shit, some days it's like, I don't even know. But I just know I'm excited. I know I'm excited, and I hope all you are too. Every single one of you, I believe this, that you deserve this. Keep showing up for yourself. Even when it doesn't feel right, even when you don't want to. Those are the days that I want to challenge you to show up even more, show up harder, pour into yourself even more, because that, my friends, is the greatest gift that you could possibly ever give yourself. The greatest gift you could ever give yourself. Yeah, man. It's been
Jesse,
awesome.
good feels, brother. Good vibrations.
Love it. Thank you, Jesse.
Loving that, guys. I'm going to put it in gallery. We all need to throw swords up. Susanna Sickles, was that your first share ever tonight? That might have been your first share ever. So you become an ER Shred warrior for us. You're the hero tonight, and we thank you so much. Jesse, that was a beautiful way to close out the call. Gave me the feels. Got me excited about the rest of the year, actually. It's like, yeah, man.
2023, we're focused on finishing out this year.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be high-fiving myself in the mirror. Hell yes to that. And I noticed the same thing you're talking about. I noticed that when I started to get right with myself, not who I thought the world wanted me to be, but who I am, who I just am, take me or leave me. When I started to get right with that person who is me, I noticed I could look in the mirror and I could look back at my eyes and my face and I could feel like, you know what? Like, you're a good person and you offer a lot and you have good intentions and you show up in this world. And it wasn't from a place of arrogance or it was more so of a place of self-worth
and self-love.
And it makes you feel calm and centered and grounded and relaxed and free. Let's keep going.
Just bathe in it. We should all just bathe in it. My beard things are falling off right before
Oh my God.
I love you guys, man. Thank you for the night. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate you
Thank
all.
you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Love you
Last
guys.
week.
We'll see you guys.
Good
Good night,
night.
guys.
Good night.
Thank you so much.